Hey guys, it's Lacey, and this is your weekly content debrief 15 minutes of actionable information to help you with your content marketing strategy. And this week I was inspired to talk about something that I wrote about a long time ago, but haven't talked about a whole lot since then. Because I was having it came up so many times in the last week or so with comments I was addressing in a group I'm in and people asking me questions about stuff. And so I thought it was definitely worth revisiting the customer awareness spectrum. So I'm absolutely going to pop a link to my blog post in here. It's also in the comments. And basically, I want to talk about what the customer awareness spectrum is and why it's important to your content marketing strategy. So if you're here, if you're hanging out, watching live, please give me a like, a hi, put a funny GIF in the comments, something like that. And if you're watching in the replay, it's helpful if you do that as well. It helps tell the Facebook algorithm that this is good content and that more people who like my page should see it. So it's definitely a big help to me if you can give me a like or a comment or even a share. So the customer awareness spectrum is just a fancy way to talk about the fact that people come to you and your business at different stages of awareness when it comes to like how aware they are of what you do and your business and so on. So I'm actually going to try to share my screen here. There we go. So this is a wonderful little graphic that my graphic designer put together for me a while back. But basically, it lays out the different stages of the customer awareness spectrum. And what we need to remember is that people come to your business at different stages of understanding and different stages of awareness, right? So people are going to come, hey, Ellie, how are you? People are going to find you at different stages. So some people are going to know a ton about you, right? Maybe they've been watching you on Facebook for a while or whatever. They know all about you. It's your best friend's, girlfriend's, brother's cousin. And they're going to come in at this aware of you stage right here. These people are your early adopters. These people who are going to be ready to buy as soon as you say what you have to sell, right? And then some people are going to come way up here and have no idea what you do, who you are, what you sell, etc. And so what happens between unaware and aware of you or ready to buy is that you have to do some educating, right? And that's what content marketing is all about. It's about moving people along this customer awareness spectrum. So a problem I've been seeing lately is that people aren't connecting the dots when it comes to which piece of content is reaching people at which stage, and they're not understanding that the purpose of that content should be to move them to the next stage, right? So here, let me just give you an example. If I write a lead magnet that is aimed at a problem-aware person for my business, then I might write a lead magnet that was something like, you don't have time to blog in your business, so I'm going to write you this lead magnet about how to find more time to blog for your business. Okay, so they kind of know about this problem. I don't have time to blog, and I'm going to give them a little win and say, here's this solution. But if that lead magnet doesn't also say, yes, here's how you can find more time to blog, but hey, another solution is you could hire me to do it for you, then it's not moving those people along in the awareness spectrum. Does that make sense? So I'm not, if my lead magnet doesn't move them to the next level, then I have to do that work somewhere else. The work still has to be done, right? You still have to figure out how you're going to move them along to understand your solution, but you're putting the onus of doing that work somewhere else, like in your emails, in your sales pitches, however else you're conversing with your leads, right? But if we were just a little more strategic about it, we could use the lead magnet to move them to the next level of awareness. So that's just one example, but this pops up all over, all the time, in different ways in your business, because you have to be aware, where are people coming in on the spectrum and how are you moving them to the next stage, right? So one thing I've seen a lot is that people only market to people who are solution aware. So they're only writing posts, or they're only writing sales emails and stuff to people who are totally aware of who they are and what they do. They know there's a solution that exists and they just need to make the decision, right? This is kind of like, when you're shopping around for a dishwasher, right? You know the solution exists. You just have to look at 3 or 4 or 10 or 12 different dishwashers to figure out which one you want, right? Those are solution aware people. But what about the people who, this is a dumb example, what about the people who don't know that the dishwasher exists? They know they have dirty dishes and they know they stink at washing them, but they don't know that a dishwasher exists. Or what if they have a totally different problem they're looking for? They're like, wow, my kitchen smells funny and I don't know why. Well, it's because you got a sink full of dirty dishes, friend. Again, I said this is a dumb example, but that, those are different stages of awareness. We're moving back in the awareness spectrum here, right? You can do different kinds of marketing and should do different kinds of marketing to different stages of awareness, okay? So let me give a couple other little quick examples of where I've seen this popping up lately. The first one was somebody was asking me about, not me specifically, they were asking in a group about lead magnets. And so they were saying, I don't know what kind of content my lead magnet should be. And my suggestion was, you need to know what stage of awareness most of your leads are coming in. So like people who arrive at your website that you want to convert and get them to sign up for your lead magnet, what stage are they at? Are they totally unaware? Are they looking for a completely different problem that you need to educate them that actually their problem is this thing that you solve? Are they problem aware? They know they're looking for the answer to the right problem, but they don't know what the solutions are. Are they solution aware? They know what the solutions are. And they're just shopping around. Are they, just looking for why you're the right person? When you know that, you can choose what your lead magnet topic should be to help move them to the next level, right? So the person I was talking to in particular, I was asking them, what are your major objections? What are your major objections that people have? Is that it'll cost too much money and it'll take too much time, et cetera, et cetera. Those are normal ones that everybody has. And how can you use your lead magnet or all the rest of your content to overcome those objections and move people to the next stage of awareness? To look at it from a different angle, another person I was talking to last week was asking about quizzes as a lead magnet, right? They're saying, do quizzes still work? Who's using them well? Blah, blah, blah. And I responded and said, quizzes can work really well to get segmented leads, by which I mean when they answer the quiz, if they're whatever, a Pisces, a Libra, whatever, right? You have information about them because they answered the quiz. They have self-segmented. But what I see people not doing is that they'll have this quiz that tells people whatever, I'm a visual learner, I'm an auditory learner, but then they just dump all the people back into one email sequence instead of segmenting out and giving them content specific to who they are and where they're at, right? So if, for example, your quiz was asking them things and it showed where they were in their journey, are you a beginning entrepreneur? Or have you been in business for a few years? Have you been in business for 10 plus years? Like that would tell you a lot about your ideal customer, right? But then you're giving them all the same emails after they take the quiz. Like you're missing a bet. You could do 2 or 3, however many, different segments there are, slightly different versions of the same email that are speaking to their direct problem and their exact stage of the awareness spectrum, which will help move them to the next stage. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be aware of this and kind of asking yourself, where are most of my people coming in? Now, here's another important reason you might be interested in this and thinking about it. It's where do most of your leads come from? If most of your leads come from referrals, they are aware of you. They're just waiting for you to say, to get on the phone with you and decide if they like you enough to buy, right? They're way down here. If most of your leads come from, say, Facebook ads, like you put out an ad that leads to a blog post or whatever, they are unaware. They may be even looking for a completely different problem. My favorite example of people looking for a completely different problem would be weight loss coaches. So a lot of times with weight loss, people will say, oh, I need to lose 20 pounds before my high school reunion, whatever. And the weight loss coach knows that they really need to fix their whatever, like gut health is really popular right now to talk about, right? So they're going to say, you really need to fix your gut health. But that's not what people are Googling, right? People are not Googling fix your gut health. Well, maybe some are. But if they want to get that weight loss crowd, people are lose 20 pounds in 3 months or whatever, right? So they need to do some education here to help people understand that they can lose 20 pounds in 3 months by fixing their gut health or whatever their thing is, right? They're looking for a different problem, but the coach knows what the real problem is. And I bet you've seen this in your business too. A lot of times I'll see something like this too, like somebody will say, I need more traffic. I need to write more blog posts because I need more traffic. And when we get into it, actually the problem is not that they need more traffic. It's that they need to convert the traffic they are getting more effectively, right? So I know what the problem really is, but they're looking for a different problem. They say, I need more traffic. That would be one of my unaware stages, right? I need more traffic. And then I could write a blog post that would say, oh, you think you need more traffic? Well, actually, you need to write blog posts that will convert better. So then they become aware of the real problem. Oh, I need to write better blog posts. How do I do that? Well, then I could say, you know how you write better blog posts? You get on a strategy session with me so I can tell you what kind of blog posts to write and when and how and where. And they say, oh, the solution exists, but I don't know if that's right for me. So then I send them to my sales page or whatever it is, and I say, it's right for you if these things, if you agree with these statements. And that's when they can make a decision, right? If I tried to send the person who was looking for more traffic directly to my sales page, it wouldn't work because I've skipped these other two, right? Now, you can do some of this work on a sales page, but it's actually a lot easier to convert over time if you're doing this work and building trust at the same time. It's hard to send a cold lead to a sales page and build enough trust for them to say yes, right? It's hard to send an unaware person to an aware stage and build enough trust right there in order for them to take action and make a sale. So what we want to do instead is move them through the sequence in a strategic way so that they have time to get to know you, understand that you're an expert, understand that you have their best interests at heart, and be ready to buy. Okay? And so all of that can be done on your blog, but it can also be done lots of different places. Like the different stages here might be different things for different people. In fact, in the blog post here, I kind of outline there we go, method. So like for unaware, where do you talk to these unaware people? Well, you might send ads. You might do guest posts to somebody else's audience that have never heard from you before. You might do a really epic blog post that goes a little bit viral, right? Podcasts or podcast interviews, webinars to somebody else's audience, any medium that reaches an audience that's not already familiar with you. So that's kind of the mediums that you might use to reach that unaware audience. And for each one of these, I've sort of spelled out what medium do you use for people who are problem aware? What's the message? Problem aware is the message you want to give them is, I know how you feel because I was once there too, and here's how I fixed it, right? So this is actually, if I do say so myself, a very useful blog post. But if you find that you're reading this and you're like, yes, I think that's my problem, but I don't know how to fix it, guess what? I have a solution for that, and it's called a strategy session. And I would absolutely love to work with you on figuring out what is your customer awareness spectrum, where do people come in, and what are the pieces of content that are not just going to grab them at that particular spot where they already are, but move them forward to the next stage of awareness so that you can sell to them, right? Because the only way to sell to them, oops, I went too far, is to get them to go along the different stages, right? Move one at a time. So that is my screed for today. If you're interested in more information, you can go to the blog post, which is linked right below me in the video here, and I put it in the comments. You can also go to lacyboggs.com/undercover to learn more about what we do, because guess what? you are a pretty warm audience. You are probably at the solution aware stage because I have just made you solution aware that I have a solution for your problem. And so I can send you to my invitation page at laceybox.com/undercover so that you can learn more about my service and decide if you're aware of me. You can decide if you're ready to buy. So that's the customer awareness spectrum in action right here, right now, live on this video. If you enjoyed this or took something away from it, I would so appreciate a like or a comment or a happy little funny GIF in the comments. And if you really liked it, the best way you can say thank you is to share it with your audience, because that way more people get to see this video, get to learn more about me, and get to move along my customer awareness spectrum. So it's a huge help to me. I will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel, Tuesdays at noon Mountain Time, which is 11 a.m. Pacific. I always have to do the 2 p.m. Eastern. Why can't I remember that? 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. I will be here again to give you another 15-minute debrief. Catch you on the flip side. Talk to you later. Bye.